Imagine a world where everything is lit by fire, and the fastest you can possibly travel is, well, as fast as a horse can run. Now picture that entire world changing, completely, in just a single lifetime. Today we're going to dive into that incredible burst of invention that took America from a quiet nation of farms to an absolute industrial powerhouse. So how does that happen? How does a country make a leap that massive in just about 100 years? Well, the answer really lies in a handful of brilliant, world-changing inventions. These were flashes of genius that didn't just change how people live day to day, they literally reshaped the entire American landscape. All right, so here's how we're going to break it down. We'll start with the spark that lit the whole fire. Then we'll see how new machines totally fueled the economy, how daily life was transformed inside the home, and how this huge, sprawling nation was stitched together with wires and rails. And finally, we'll zoom out and look at the new American reality all of this created. So, first question, why America? And why then? What was it about this specific time and place? Well, it turns out the country was kind of a perfect storm of political pressure and raw potential, just waiting for that spark. You see, it really started with a political shove. After gaining independence, America was still pretty reliant on Britain for manufactured goods. But then things like the Embargo Act and the War of 1812 basically cut off that supply chain. Suddenly, the U.S. had a choice: learn to make stuff for yourself or go without. Self-sufficiency wasn't just a nice idea anymore, it was a matter of survival. And America had all the right ingredients for this big change. I mean, the land was overflowing with natural resources: coal, iron, you name it. It had a population that was growing fast, which meant you had both workers for the factories and customers to buy the goods. And crucially, there was this spirit of invention and capitalism that really encouraged people who dared to build something new. Okay, so the stage is set. The revolution really catches fire in the two places that were the bedrock of the American economy, the farm and the factory. And a couple of key inventions would change both of them, forever. First up is the cotton gin. Now, before this thing came along, separating cotton fibers from their super sticky seeds was this painfully slow process. I mean, it had to be done piece by hand. Eli Whitney saw this massive bottleneck and he designed a machine to fix it. And to really get the impact here, you have to understand just how slow that process was. One person working all day long could clean about 1 single pound of cotton. That's it. An entire industry was being held back by this one incredibly tedious job. And then came the cotton gin. Suddenly, one machine could process over 50 pounds in the same amount of time. It was a 50 times leap in productivity, and it made cotton incredibly profitable. But this efficiency had a truly dark side. The demand for enslaved labor to plant and pick all that cotton just skyrocketed, digging one of the nation's deepest and most tragic wounds even deeper. Meanwhile, out on the prairie, farmers were dealing with a completely different kind of problem. The rich, dense soil of the American Midwest would just cling to their iron plows. They'd have to stop constantly, scrape the blade clean, and start again. John Deere's idea sounds so simple, but it was genius. Make the plow from polished steel. The soil just slid right off. Farmers could suddenly plow huge fields with incredible speed. But this whole revolution wasn't just some abstract thing happening out in fields and factories. No, its effects rippled all the way into people's homes, changing the very fabric of daily life in ways you could see and touch every single day. Just take the icebox. To us, it sounds so basic, right? But this was a total game changer. Before Thomas More's invention, you basically had to eat your food right away or preserve it with salt or smoke. The icebox meant you could keep milk, meat, and vegetables fresh for days. It completely changed what people ate and how they ran their households. Then you have the sewing machine. The work of guys like Elias Howe and Isaac Singer basically moved clothing production out of the living room and into the factory. So instead of spending hours and hours sewing a single shirt by hand, people could now buy affordable, ready-made clothes. This didn't just change fashion, it created brand new industries. Now, for a second, try to imagine a world where the only music you ever heard had to be played live, right in front of you. That was just reality, until Thomas Edison invented the phonograph. For the first time ever, sound itself, a voice, a song, could be captured and played back. It must have seemed like absolute magic, and it was the very beginning of the entire recorded music industry. But maybe Edison's greatest gift of all was light itself. His practical, long-lasting light bulb literally beat back the night.
The day didn't just end when the sun went down anymore. Factories could run extra shifts, city streets became safer, and homes were filled with this steady, reliable light that completely changed the rhythm of human life. Now, all this progress was happening across a massive continent. So the next big challenge was, how do you conquer those huge distances? How do you make America feel smaller and more connected? Let's just talk about the speed of information. Before Samuel Morse invented the telegraph, if you wanted to send a message from New York to California, you were looking at weeks, maybe months. With the telegraph, that same message arrived in minutes. Think about that. This wasn't just a small improvement, it was a total revolution in communication. And then, just a few decades later, Alexander Graham Bell took it to a whole other level. We went from dots and dashes to the actual sound of a person's voice. The telephone made communication immediate, personal, and shrank the world in a way that was almost impossible to imagine just a generation earlier. And then we learned to fly. Through just painstaking engineering, building a light frame, stretching cloth over it, designing a powerful but lightweight engine, the Wright brothers did what people for centuries had only dreamed of. That very first flight lasted only 12 seconds. But in those 12 seconds, the door to modern aviation and a whole new human frontier was kicked wide open. So you take all of this frantic invention, all of this change, what do you get? Well, you get a fundamentally new America, one that was full of incredible opportunity, but also came with a whole new set of really difficult challenges. The bottom line is this. The United States went through this massive economic transformation. By harnessing this incredible wave of innovation, it went from being a largely agricultural society to a global manufacturing leader, pumping out everything from steel to textiles for the rest of the world. But all that progress was a real double-edged sword. You had incredible economic prosperity, but you also had terribly difficult and dangerous working conditions. You had the miracle of mass production, but it was often powered by child labor. You had the exciting growth of cities, but that came with pollution and a growing, painful gap between the rich and the poor. So why does all this matter to us, sitting here today? Because the ideas behind these inventions, electrification, mass communication, rapid travel, they are the absolute foundation of our 21st century world. We are, quite literally, living in the house that these inventors built. And that kind of leaves us with one final thought. The cotton gin, the telephone, the light bulb, they defined their century. So it makes you wonder, right? What are the inventions happening right now that people will be looking back on in 100 years? What's defining our time?